Hello, Rama Puput. Hope all are in good health, feeling great, wonderful, having a happy and peaceful life. Now let's continue with author Osborne. Then he met Lucia, fell in love with her, and married her. Both of them had similar aspirations in life, as she was also searching for the truth. They were guided by Reni Guenen to another guru who gave them a very rigorous sadhana of chanting incantations, which they followed meticulously. During that time, being a keen intellectual, in addition to being a seeker, Osborne studied and even practiced simultaneously the tenets of Sufism, Buddhism, Christianity, and Vedanta, gaining mystical erudition in all of them. And look at the beauty. All this prepared him for the final. He then got a job in the University of Bangkok in Thailand and took his wife and three children there. Wherever he went, he was always in contact with members of the Reni Guenson's group. One of the members, David McQueer, sent them a photograph of Ramana Maharshi and two of Bhagavan's books. He also cautioned them that Ramana Maharshi was not a guru, as he did not give initiations or accept anyone as a disciple. But Arthur and Lucia Osborne were captivated by the picture of Bhagavan and decided to go to India and meet Ramana Maharshi. Being a very hot summer, they first went to Kashmir, where they were met by David McIver, who also owned a cottage opposite to Ramana Ashramam. After spending a few weeks, Osborne had to go back to Bangkok. Fortunately, David invited Mrs. Osborne and the three children and took them to Tiruvannamalai. When Osborne went to Bangkok, the Second World War broke out and the Japanese arrested him and put him in jail. For 3.5 years he was in jail. Arthur Osborne's only solace was Bhagavan's picture and the two books. When the Japanese came to arrest him from the university campus, some urge prompted him to take these three things. While in the prison camp, he created and tended to a very nice garden. His personality and his talks there drew many people to him. One among them was Louis Hurst, who came to Bhagavan after the Second World War. Far away in Tiruvannamalai, Mrs. Osborne had by then already got Bhagavan's darshan. The moment she saw Bhagavan's eyes, Bhagavan gave her a pointed look. She felt absolutely transformed. Bhagavan took care of Mrs. Osborne and the children and paid special attention to them. To her husband in prison, Mrs. Osborne wrote about how Bhagavan's eyes had the innocence of a small child, together with the unfathomable wisdom and immense love of a sage. Meanwhile, the children prayed to Bhagavan, Bhagavan, we are writing letters to our father, but we do not know whether he is alive or not. Please keep him alive and bring him back soon. Osborne told me that when he was in prison, prominent British prisoners were sometimes taken away and executed. When the special force came to take Osborne, everyone knew that he was going to be shot. Osborne told me the last thing I looked at was Bhagavan's picture and the two books when I was taken in front of the firing squad. I closed my eyes. I did not pray to Bhagavan, but Bhagavan's picture came to my mind, and for some unknown reason, they released me and put me in concentration camp. While he was suffering, his children back in Tiruvannamalai were going on praying to Bhagavan for their father's safe return. Bhagavan never gave an answer until the war ended. The day when Osborne was released along with the first batch of 40 prisoners, his son Adam's prayers were answered by Bhagavan. Yes, Adam's father is coming back. When he came to Arunachala, Osborne was in a debilitated mental state because of the torture in the concentration camp. Intellectuals were tortured to brainwash them. When Bhagavan was told about Osborne's imminent return by train, his attendant T.P. Ramachandra Iyer, on seeing Bhagavan's concern, asked, "May I also go?" Bhagavan replied, "Yes, you also go." So Bhagavan's representative was also there when Osborne was brought back. The only person he could recognize in his poor mental condition was his wife. She came crying to Bhagavan. Bhagavan told her, "Please bring Osborne here morning and evening and make him sit where I can see him." This happened till he became completely all right, and even afterwards, Osborne told me Bhagavan saw to it that I sat where he could see me. One day, when 2 or 3 people came and sat between me and Bhagavan, he even asked those people to sit elsewhere so that he could see me, which was very, very unusual for him. However, Bhagavan did not reveal himself to Osborne on the very first day. Some days later, on a festive occasion, Bhagavan concentrated his attention on Osborne, and the change came with all its immensity. This is how Osborne describes it. Bhagavan sat up facing me, and his luminous eyes pierced into me, penetrating intimately with an intensity which I cannot describe. Then arose from within a quietness, a depth of peace, and an indescribable lightness and happiness. This is what is written in the book. What author Osborne himself told me was, "Two searchlights came into my body and then divinized every cell in it." And that was the first initiation and the first realization. That's all, folks. Let's continue in the next chapter. Thank you. Bye bye. Rama Rama Pupoda.